Alrighty, what's going on, everybody? My name is Blitzer and welcome back to another episode of WWE Universe Mode. Yes, you heard me correctly. You guys reacted very positively to the first episode of WWE Universe, so I'm bringing you another one. And basically how we're going to do it is we're going to keep going until I see that, let's say you guys lose interest or whatever it may be, and then we'll just stop. So it won't be like a ongoing series that is has a definite ending, or a series that is indefinitely going to end either. So as long as let's say this series gets 25 thumbs up as well, that would be a sign to me that you guys want to see more of it. So before we get to the actual matchups, what I want to do is every week we're going to take a look at the rankings for the show that we are playing through. So in this case, we've got, for example, the WWE Champion, of course, CM Punk. As you can see, The Rock's victory against Kane last week positioned himself to go from 5th place all the way up to position number 3 now, so he is right up there to be the #1 contender. So very interesting to see how The Rock is going to finish off this week. And of course, as you can see, Kane has now gone down to be in the 4th contender position, unlike where he was prior to this. As far as we don't have any news, The Miz's contenders Otunga, after defeating The Miz last week, has now positioned himself as the #1 contender. So we'll see how things unfold on this episode of Raw. So without further ado, let's get into it. We've got Kofi Kingston and R-Truth will be defending their tag team titles against Dolph Ziggler and Jack Swagger, and the victory goes to the reigning and defending tag team champions, who are able to overcome their potential #1 contenders. But will Dolph Ziggler and Jack Swagger give up? I guess we'll just have to watch and see how this feud unfolds as we go down the line. Kelly goes one-on-one with Beth Phoenix, and Kelly is victorious. Very interesting. Positioning herself to potentially challenge for Alicia Fox's women's title. Now, this is a very interesting matchup right here, and that is Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and Dean Ambrose. The Shield, the entire team of the Shield, is going to be put against one another in a triple threat contest. A very interesting little matchup here. Our highlight match of the night is going to be Triple H versus Zack Ryder, which is not much of a highlight match in my opinion. And we've got Kane versus The Rock, a rematch from last week. So I know I said I would play this triple threat, but I think that I don't want to keep the episodes about half an hour long. Again, we'll see how the feedback is. So I'm going to simulate these matches, these two, and then we'll play the main event to see how things go there. So our highlight match ends with, of course, Triple H winning with a dominant pedigree on Zack Ryder, and the triple threat contest goes to the one and only awesome, I love Dean Ambrose. Dean Ambrose defeats the other members of the Shield, Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins, in what was an absolutely stellar matchup. But now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to move on to the main event of the evening, as Kane and The Rock set foot in the same ring again. A rematch from last week's matchup. Kane wants revenge. He believes that he is still better than The Rock and that he should be positioned higher up the ladder in the rankings contenders count, and he will not stop at anything until he is positioned higher up the ladder. The Rock, on the other hand, of course, wants to maintain his position and get his claws and hands, that makes him sound like a monster, get his hands on that WWE Championship. So a very interesting matchup here. I wonder if there's going to be any type of story type stuff involved, like, you know, on the entrances. Okay, here we go. Rocky wants revenge from last week, and good, there he goes with the big right hands on Kane, giving him a little bit of his own medicine. Kane, of course, assaulting The Rock last week, and this week it is The Rock who slides in the ring early to deliver some punishment to the Big Red Machine. I think that it makes all the sense in the world for me to play as Kane, guys, because I think that will add a lot of more intrigue to who is the #1 contender, because we're going to have one victory for The Rock, one victory for Kane, and then that makes it much more intriguing in my mind to see who it is that's going to be the #1 contender. Kane right away, my goodness, going for the desk here. Right in front of us right here. Oh God, what a big clothesline by Kane, the big red monster here, ready to punish The Rock. Of course, frustrated after that loss last week to The Rock, as The Rock was able to deliver that rock bottom. Oh, Kane misses that. Tries to tackle down The Rock, maybe hoping to get a count-out victory. It seems like Kane at this point just would be happy to defeat The Rock in any way necessary, whatever it may take. he's going to take it just so that he can position himself to take on the WWE Champion CM Punk, who's been very quiet about this entire situation. I found it very interesting that CM Punk has not spoken positively, nor negatively about these two men. I think he's just kind of waiting in the wings to see who will be the #1 contender for his title. And of course, we still have Chris Jericho hanging out there, who is currently ranked as #1 contender. So come unforgiven, will it be Jericho who's contending for the belt? I guess we'll just have to watch and see how things go. The Rock here, trying to gain a lot of confidence. Of course, assaulting Kane early on here. Kane, though, with those big clotheslines, nearly taking The Rock's head off. Oh! And if he did not take his head off, that DDT made sure that it's going to stay planted in one spot for sure. Alrighty, Kane again to the outside. My God, I think Kane is planning some big... Oh! And as I say that, The Rock counters with a big Samoan drop. Very impressive here. You can never count out the Brahma Bull. Of course, as we mentioned in last week, The Rock has just recently returned to back, on a full-time schedule for wrestling. So he's really kind of been working and honing his craft, trying to get better, trying to get back into the swing of things. But I think that at this point, if I had to give the experience advantage, I would definitely lean towards Kane. He's been here for much longer. He's been active on a regular basis, and therefore, I would definitely give the experience to Kane if it comes down to the experience. But that being said, last week proved me wrong, as The Rock was able to defeat Kane right square in the middle of that ring with a rock bottom. So I find it very interesting how things are unfolding between these two. They've got an interesting feud going on here, and both men have been really dishing out a lot of punishment towards one another. And the most interesting relationship is, of course, as I previously mentioned, the fact that the WWE Champion has kind of ignored this entire situation and has almost decided to kind of avoid making any noise or contact between these guys. There we go. A nice rope break by Kane there. Achieves himself a rope break. Now the Brahma Bull. Ooh, that's surprising. The Brahma Bull is able to win that test of strength and goes to the legs, to the knees again. Very smart. My goodness, what's he doing? Is he trying to mimic Kane? Is he going to go for a chokeslam here? What the heck is he doing? He's mimicking Kane here. Oh, and a big elbow drop by The Rock. Alright, I don't know if that's the best idea by The Rock. I think that pissing off the Big Red Machine is not a good idea. You do not want to make him mad. He will punish you if you do. So I'm not sure if that's a good idea, but I guess we'll just have to see. The Rock has his own plans. He thinks that was what he should have done. So maybe that's a part of the mind games. Get Kane pissed off, get him overcommitted to something, make a big mistake, slip up, and then allow The Rock to slide right in with a big rock bottom or a big spine buster or a powerful maneuver to really take advantage and put another W in his corner and cement himself as the #1 contender and hopefully shut Kane down. Alright, what's going on over here? Now Rocky going for another submission here. Kane again, too close to the ropes here. And now Rocky's going to go for some big here maybe. What's he going for? Nice reversal. Russian leg sweep by Kane. And now Kane is going to start firing right back as he picks The Rock up right by the throat. My God, how much power does Kane have? Absolutely incredible. Sidewalk slam. Nicely done there. Nicely done. What a great delivery on that sidewalk slam. A lot of impact. I nearly felt the ring shaking all the way over here. Oh, and down goes Kane. And now it's The Rock who's sending this battle to the outside. Something that I'm finding a little unique. Interesting. I wouldn't think The Rock would want to go to the outside. But as I mentioned last week, of course, The Rock has that mean streak about him. If you do piss him off enough, he will unleash that rock that we saw against Mankind. He does have that somewhere deep inside of him. And now Rock is able to hit a big maneuver right here. Kane goes for the sidewalk slam again. My God, what a sidewalk slam by Kane. Very impressive here. Kane has been very impressive here early on. Now sends The Rock into the table. My God, what's Kane going for? My goodness, he's picked up The Rock. What's he going for? What's he going for? He's got the choke slam. They're on top of the announce table right in front of us. My God! Kane! My goodness! Hits that choke slam and slides back to the ring. Kane is going to be satisfied with the victory. With a count-out victory over The Rock. I'm not sure what to say here because you could definitely make the argument that Kane had a dominant performance here right at the end. Very dominant here. But, on the other hand, you gotta understand, he won via count-out. Something that is not quite as impressive as pinning your opponent or making them submit. So I'm very intrigued to see how this thing will keep unfolding. because I definitely feel like it's not over yet. Wow, that was a hell of a turn of events. But there you have it. That concludes Raw. So now we're going to go over to Smackdown and see what's happening over there. Very interesting, very interesting. I thought that that was the best way to do it, just to keep intrigue around this feud. You know, we kept The Rock interesting, we kept Kane interesting, so I think that that was the smartest victory way for me to win, was via something that is a little fishy. So we're going to proceed forwards into Smackdown, where our opening contest is a great little matchup right here. Another triple threat jam as Rikishi, Tensai, and Damien Sandow go to war in a battle that Mr. Tensai, awesome, was able to win. Starting to get the ball rolling, maybe gonna go for another singles title run, whatever it may be. Tensai getting a victory, which is great. There you have it. Lord Tensai wins our opening contest of the night. I want to see what our main event. We got Sheamus and Del Rio again, which is an interesting matchup. I forgot to check the rankings. Let's take a look at it. So we've got Daniel Bryan as the #1 contender right there. Randy Orton is right at number 2. Number 3, not far behind, is Mr. Mark Henry, who's always dangerous. And Alberto Del Rio is standing and staring at number 4. And our Cruiserweight Championship, which is of course held by Cody Rhodes. As you can see, the #1 contender currently is Christian, but he's going to have a #1 contenders match with Hunico tonight. So, very interesting. If Christian loses that match, he loses his spot to challenge Cody Rhodes for that, obviously, Cruiserweight Championship. So, let's see what occurred between Devon and Heath Slater, as Devon was able to grab himself a victory in what was a great little matchup here. We got some tag team action. Team Cobro was able... sound like I said gone broke. Cobro was able to defeat Primo and Epico in a great little tag team contest right here tonight. A lot of great wrestling for you guys on this particular show. And Christian went one-on-one with Hunico, where he unfortunately lost that highly, highly desired #1 contender spot against Cody Rhodes. Hunico wins and becomes the #1 contender. Very interesting turn of events here tonight. Hunico really starting to push his career on the right path, and we'll see how things unfold for him as well. But without further ado, let's get into our main event of the evening, as Sheamus, the World Heavyweight Champion, goes one-on-one with Alberto Del Rio once again. It's very interesting how the matches are booked here for Universe Mode. I'm not really sure if I'm liking the fact that a lot of the matches are similar. I mean, it's great to have feuds keep going, but at the same time, how do I say this? Like, it starts feeling... I want to make sure that it doesn't start feeling stale, and that's definitely something we need to avoid. Alrighty, Sheamus now rushing the ring, similarly to how The Rock did against Kane. Big right hands by Sheamus here. Delivers some of those clubbing blows to the head of Alberto Del Rio. I'm going to play Sheamus. I told you I don't like Alberto Del Rio. Here we go. And now Sheamus, right here, unleashing a beast. He said that he wants to earn respect. That's what he's been talking about. He's been talking a lot like CM Punk has in the past, where Sheamus is talking about the fact that he wants to be recognized as the World Heavyweight Champion. He doesn't want to just carry a belt and have it around his waist to look shiny and pretty. He wants people to recognize him as the World Heavyweight Champion, which is exactly what he is, and I can absolutely respect that. But Alberto Del Rio is going to make sure that it's not going to be as easy as Sheamus hopes it to be, as he gets a nice little reversal there into an arm breaker and follows it up with a big, nice little right kick to the stomach and followed up by a chop block. Doing a great job here early on, Del Rio, that is, of trying to ground that assault of Sheamus. Oh my god, what's Sheamus going for here? Right away, going for white noise out of nowhere. My goodness, Sheamus, absolutely spectacular here. Hits a white noise out of nowhere. Del Rio is down. Boom, big bro kick. Can he get it? Can he win so quickly? 1, 2, oh my goodness. Del Rio kicks out at 1 count from the bro kick. Absolutely spectacular. But you could also probably attribute it to the fact that, of course, maybe he was not able to get all of it. Maybe the positioning with which Del Rio was, because if you watched it, it was a little bit of an awkward position. Maybe the damage was not quite as severe as a regular bro kick would be. Again, I'm not trying to come up with excuses. I'm very impressed by Alberto Del Rio here. The fact that he was able to kick out. But I'm also impressed by the fact that Sheamus has been showing us a different little side of him, much more of a mean streak. He doesn't really want to run around and hug everybody. He's much more focused. It's not about the fact that he says he's disrespected the fans. He has no problem with the fans, and he's proud of the support that he's been getting. But he's just wanted to prove himself as a World Heavyweight Champion. He wanted to position himself to be respected by his peers and, of course, by the entire universe. I believe that a lot of the peers do respect Sheamus, but at the same time, I also believe that Sheamus, to be fair and honest, has become a little stale. And something like this is definitely going to be beneficial to himself, his career, and his standing within the WWE Universe as he hits a big scoop slam, doing a great job of being aggressive here early on, really doing an incredible job. And Del Rio, though, make sure that he's not going to do too good of a job as he hits a big clothesline, but then eats one from Sheamus right in the back as he's trying to show off to the audience. And that's something that Del Rio needs to learn to stop to do. If he wants to be winning matches here in the WWE, he needs to focus. He needs to understand that it is about focus and it is about determination. You cannot let the World Heavyweight Champion rest. That's not something that you just do. Yet Del Rio does it on multiple occasions and then complains in terms of why it is that he hasn't got a title shot or is unable to win. He always has to come up with an excuse, which is something that I could not respect. Something about Del Rio that I do not think is a good feature about him is that in particular. But there is something that I do like about Sheamus as he hits a big backbreaker and now signifies to the audience that this time it's all over. Del Rio turns around and eats a full-on force bro kick right to the jaw. Might have knocked some of his teeth out there. It looked like it. And now Sheamus goes for the pinning predicament right here in the middle of the ring. 1, 2, see you later. Good night. Smackdown champion Sheamus in a very dominant victory here against Alberto Del Rio, who was simply did not seem to be focused enough on this match, or did not seem to be involved enough in the match. Whatever it may be, Sheamus gets the victory and rolls on forward into Unforgiven as World Heavyweight Champion with multiple W's in his win column. Doing a great job, Sheamus that is. And we'll see you next time on SmackDown. See you later, guys. Well, there you have it, guys. That concludes the SmackDown episode. Very cool there. Again, the only thing I'm worried about is the fact that I hope that the matches will get changed up as we continue forwards. Let's take a look at Raw. Ooh, Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins. A little bit of a rematch from last week's Triple Threat. Looks like Kofi and R-Truth will take on Epico and Primo. It looks like Roman Reigns is going to be facing off against Cesaro and Goldberg in a Triple Threat match. Hot damn, now that's a match. Tonight's highlight match, which makes no sense at all. Brock Lesnar and Santino Marella will go at it as Brock Lesnar will... The highlight of the night will be that Brock Lesnar will break Santino in half. I guarantee you that. And the main event, again, The Rock versus Kane. Getting a little old here. I hope things change up as we continue going forwards. But there you have it, guys. I'll see you next week. And, of course, guys, if you could please hit that like button, that would be greatly appreciated. Where the heck did Triple H come from? As he has positioned himself as the second #1 contender. The Rock has been removed from the list. Very interesting turn of events here for The Rock. I'm very intrigued to see how things unfold in this universe mode. It's been very odd, that's for sure. That's one way of putting it. And as you can see, this is the standings right now as they stand. As you can see, Hunico, of course, winning that #1 contender spot on SmackDown. Something that was very useful for him, I'm sure. But there you have it, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out and see you later.